Welcome to the 3M training video for the Trizac Finesse It 2-step paint defect repair system. There are 2 steps to this system. The first step, sanding to level the defect and wiping off the sanding residue. The second step, polish the sanded area to refine the sand scratch and wiping to make sure the sand scratch is removed. At the beginning of the shift, inspect your sander and backup pad. If the tool is showing obvious damage, bring it to the attention of your supervisor. The disc pad should be firm. If it is soft or mushy, it should be replaced. Just twist off the old pad and replace it with the new one. To ensure that the abrasive disc adheres properly to the disc pad, keep the disc pad clean and dry. Step 1. Sand and wipe dry. Center the Trizac sanding disc on the backup pad. Cup it in your hands to make sure it is adhered to the backup pad. Wet the disc. Do not start the tool until it contacts the substrate and the abrasive is flat on the surface. Move the tool in small circles, removing the defect. Stop the tool while still flat on the substrate and remove flat. Wipe off to remove the sanding residue and inspect the area to ensure the defect has been removed. Spray the disc with water to keep the disc from loading. In some instances, the abrasive may become loaded or capped and will no longer cut. To increase the life of the abrasive, a mechanical cleaning aid may be needed. First, wet the disc with water. Then run the sander while keeping it flat on the brush-on sheet. The disc is now clean and ready to reuse. Review of the sanding process. Wet the disc. Don't start the sander until it's flat on the surface. Sand in a circular motion. Stop the tool and lift flat. Wipe off the sanding residue. Inspect the sanded area and rinse or clean the disc. Step 2. Polish out the sand scratch. At the beginning of the shift, inspect the buffer and backup pad. If the buffer is showing obvious damage, bring it to the attention of your supervisor. The backup pad should not have cracks or tears in the foam, and the hooks on the face should not be melted or missing. If it is showing signs of wear, replace it. Whether your plant uses an orange or gray pad, the pad should be centered on the backup pad to reduce vibration. A new pad must be conditioned or preloaded prior to its first use. To do this, place 3 or 4 drops of polish as shown and run the pad on your first defect. The polish on the pad should look evenly distributed. To polish the sand scratch, place a pea-sized drop of polish on the sanded area. Dab the polish on the outer diameter of the pad. Otherwise, most of the polish will be in the center of the pad where it is not needed. The outer diameter does most of the work. Place the tool flat on the surface. Apply approximately 1 to 2 pounds of pressure. Start the tool and polish out the defect. Move the tool, remembering that the outer diameter of the pad does most of the cutting. Stop the tool and lift flat from the surface. Wipe and check to ensure the sand scratch is gone. Polishing tips. Do not use too much polish. Do not push down too hard on the buffer. Do not hold the buffer in one position. Not following these tips will result in either a poor repair and/or diminished buff pad life. This pad is an example of too much polish and pressure. Too much pressure causes the polish to sink deep into the pad. This is an example of correct polish and pressure. Let's go over the polishing steps. Center the polishing pad. Condition a new pad. Use a pea-sized drop of polish after conditioning the pad. Dab the polish on the outside diameter of the pad. Start the buffer with the tool flat, applying 1 to 2 pounds of pressure. Move the tool, remembering that the outside diameter is doing most of the work. Stop the tool and lift flat. Wipe and inspect to ensure the sand scratch is gone and quality standards achieved. 3M, an innovative approach to clear coat repair. Thanks for watching.